If you're looking for some really quick and easy Christmas inspiration DIY decor, then you'll want to stick around for this video. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Liz. For today's video, I have some super fast, super easy Christmas DIYs that I think that you're gonna love. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right in. For this DIY, you are gonna take a scrap piece of wood. This was, I believe, a 1x6 and probably about 20 inches long. I'm going to start by painting it with my Waverly chalk paint in white, and I painted the back and all of the sides. You're not going to need to paint the front because you are going to be covering it up anyways. So just to make it finished, I painted the back and all of the sides with just one good coat. Now I'm going to take these wooden trees that you can get from the Dollar Tree. I took 3 of them and I'm just removing the little tags from the back, and I'm going to paint one of them with my Dixie Belle chalk paint in Barn Red, and I painted the front and all of the sides. No need to paint the back. And then for my next one, I'm painting this with my Waverly chalk paint in white, and for my third one, painting it with my Waverly chalk paint in moss. I did want to distress my trees, so I'm taking a chip brush that I got from the Dollar Tree, dipping it into some Waverly Wax and Antique, and then dabbing off the excess, and then doing back and forth strokes over my trees to give it that nice distressed look. I do that over all 3, and then I add a little bit of white paint to the brush, dabbing the majority of it off, and then going over the green and the red tree just to give it some more dimension, some more character, adding another color in there. And then for my white tree, to give it a little bit more dimension, I take some more of that Waverly chalk paint in moss and do the exact same thing, just adding a little bit of distressing over it. I'm going to take this Hello Christmas scrapbook paper collection kit that you can purchase off of my website, moorevinyldecals.com. The link is always listed down below, but I'm going to take a piece of paper that comes from this kit, and it has a whole bunch of houses all over it, and I just think that it looks really fun. So I cut mine into 2 pieces so that I could have it covering the entire board. I also wanted to make sure the seam was in the middle so that my middle tree would mostly cover up that seam and then you wouldn't be able to see it as well. And I just used some Mod Podge to adhere my paper to my wood. And then the last step is just to hot glue your trees right on top of your sign. And I just did red, white, and then green. I think this turned out really cute. This is such an easy and simple project to do, and I think it would look adorable sitting on any kind of shelf. For this DIY, I grabbed these acrylic ornaments that come from Hobby Lobby. They are $4.99 on sale, 50% off, and I believe you got them in a pack of 8. And they have a clear little plastic on them that you can just remove. I grabbed 3 of these, and I am going to do just a really simple kind of ornament with them. I'm going to start by adding some paint to the back, and I don't know if you've seen those acrylic ornaments with kind of like the streaky paint on the back. That's what I was going for in this. So I'm going to do red on one, white on the other, and then green on the third. And I just did this very messily just to try to get that streaky paint look effect on the back. Next, I'm going to take this COUTURE transfer. These are the Christmas minis that I think look so adorable. And I took 3 of these, and I am going to fuzz them really, really well to make sure that they're not going to stick too much to these acrylic ornaments. You don't want your transfers to stick so much that they end up stretching when you take them off. So for glass or acrylic or, hard surfaces like that, I like to make sure that I am fuzzing really, really well. And then I will add my transfers down on top of there. And I just add a transfer to all 3 of my ornaments. I'm going to go in with the chalk paste in black for all 3. And I just add the chalk paste on with my squeegee and then remove the transfer. And I do that for all 3 of my ornaments. Now that that is done, I have these beaded wreaths that came from Hobby Lobby. They were $3.99 on sale for $2. So I just removed the twine that came on the beaded wreaths and strung that through my acrylic ornaments, strung it around the beaded wreath again, tied a knot at the top, and that is all I'm going to do for this DIY. I think these look so cute and they would look adorable hanging on a tree. I don't have mine up quite yet, but as soon as I do, I'm going to throw these on there because I think these are so much fun, and it was so easy and simple to make. It took me, I don't know, maybe 15 minutes. For this DIY, I am going to take some of these tall candles that you can get from the Dollar Tree. I picked up 4 of them, added some water to my stock pot, and I am going to melt these candles down. Now, all of these DIYs are so easy and relatively fast, besides this one being a little bit slower just because you're waiting for that wax to melt. I also grabbed this little jar from the Dollar Tree. I loved the pattern on the outside of it, and I thought it looked really cute, so I picked this one up. Now I'm going to take the wick from one of those candles and I just placed it right inside that jar. I'm going to take my melted wax and pour it inside my jar. You want to make sure that you're using something to cover your hands so that your hands are protected from the heat. And I ended up using 2 full candles for this jar. I also found this apple cinnamon fragrance oil that you can also pick up from the Dollar Tree. Since these candles have no smell, I thought that this would be perfect to add in here to make my candles smell nice. So I added a ton of drops, probably about 50 or so. And I probably could have added even more because the fragrance still isn't too strong with all the wax that I ended up putting in there. So I would say go crazy when putting your oil in there to make sure that it smells nice. And then I wanted some red wax. They didn't have any tall candles full of red wax, so I found these apple cinnamon candles from the Dollar Tree. I just took the other candle jars that were empty and placed the candles right on in there and waited for them to completely melt down. I also picked up this peppermint ice cube tray that I am going to use as a mold. So as soon as those candles were nice and melted, I just took those and added the melted wax into the ice cube tray. And then I ended up doing this with some white and some red on a couple other of the molds and waited for those to harden. Now that everything is nice and hardened, I'm just going to remove the little wax candies from the ice cube tray, and I loved how they turned out. I did some with a little bit of white in there and then waited for it to dry and added the red, and I think that it turned out really fun. I wanted this candle to look like it had a bunch of candy sitting on top of it, so I just placed a couple of those wax molds right inside of there, and it gave the appearance of peppermint candies inside of my candle, which I think looks so adorable. And then for the rest of my little candy molds that I'm not going to be using in this one, I can put in any kind of Scentsy or wax warmer that I have, and I just think it looks so cute in there. To finish off this jar, I just took some ribbon that I had that was kind of a peppermint looking ribbon, and I'm just hot gluing that around the middle, and that is it for this DIY. I think these turned out so adorable, and besides taking the time to wait for the wax to melt, this was so easy. And if you're looking to make your own little wax melt shapes, I think using the ice cube trays is so much fun. For this DIY, I have these Target dollar spot houses that I found in the fall time. They were $3 each, and I'm going to start by painting them, one with my Waverly chalk paint in moss, and my second house with my Dixie Belle chalk paint in barn red. Now I'm going to be using some paper from my Hello Christmas paper pack again, and I'm going to use these ones that have the little cards on them. I just took my paper cutter and I just cut out one of those little cards, and I'm going to add some Mod Podge to the back, make sure that the edges are all nice and coated, and then I just added this to the middle and bottom portion of this house. To finish it off, I'm going to take some lace ribbon that I got from the Dollar Tree. I just cut a portion of it off, and I'm going to tie a really simple and easy shoelace type bow, just taking 2 loops, tying it together, playing with the loops a little bit till I get it the size that I need it, and then I'm going to add some hot glue to the back and then hot glue it right to the top of that paper. And that is it for this one. I think it turned out really cute. For my second house, I'm going to add some surface wax from COUTURE onto it because I'm going to be using a COUTURE transfer. I'm going to take this transfer that has a whole bunch of different kind of card-like sayings on it for Christmas. There was this Merry Christmas one, and I just cut that out, fuzzed it, and added it to my barn. I'm going to use my bright white chalk paste, and with a squeegee, I just add that on there and then remove the transfer, and I have a really cute Merry Christmas saying on my barn, and these two paired together I think look so adorable on my shelf. For this DIY, this is so simple and so easy, so if you're looking for something super quick, this one is perfect. I'm going to take a scrap piece of wood that I had in my garage, paint the entire thing white. I'm going to use some surface wax from COUTURE on the front. Anytime I'm using a porous surface like wood, I like to add the wax on there. It just helps with bleeding when I use my COUTURE transfers. I'm going to take this Santa letter transfer that I just think is super adorable, and I am going to cut this all apart. I add my 2 Santa, the North Pole, on the front, and I'm going to use my black chalk paste for these words. I just add it on there with my squeegee and then remove my transfer when it's done. And then I'm going to add the little stripes to the side, and I use this red chalk paste. I can't remember the exact name of it off the top of my head right now, but I'll have it listed below so that you can find it if you're looking for this specific red color. And I just add that on there, remove the transfer, and then I have a little stamp that's going to go in the top right hand side, and again I'm just using that red chalk paste and then removing the transfer, and then you're done. You have this really cute letter to Santa that you can put on an entryway table, on a shelf. I just think it looks super adorable. You can even go as far as adding names in the top left hand corner if you wanted, for a little from section, and I just think that this looks absolutely adorable. Sometimes you just need DIYs that are so simple and so easy and take hardly any time at all, especially with busy schedules and especially with the busy holiday season coming up. I definitely gravitate to super easy and super simple DIYs. That's it for today's video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Let me know which project was your favorite in the comments down below. Don't forget to check out my craft club subscription box if you're looking for a fun crafty box to ship to your house every single month. I will leave that linked in my description box down below. I also have some new products launching next week for my craft kits, so keep an eye out for that. Don't forget to subscribe before you guys leave. Give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!